Speaking of, and just I think this may be the final thing, but speaking of changes that may need to be made down the line, obviously Roxon was a massive coup for the series this year. It's well known that he's getting start P, appearance fee, whatever you want to call that. Certain things are being sold against him, hence the Visit Melbourne logo on his jersey. But do you worry that that sets a dangerous precedent for the future? Because say in 4 years' time, the series is extremely successful, everyone wants to be there may be a rider who says, well, hang on, like you may not be in a position to pay the ride, nor not be in a position to need to pay the riders anymore, but then the riders may still be like, hang on, I know that he got paid 4 years ago, so what's different? I want the same money because it's good money too.
Well, I mean, firstly, I think that there's I've heard all sorts of rumors about the numbers being thrown around, which are pretty incorrect. I'm not that I'll talk about it, but I think there's some wild rumors thrown around, but I think I'm not really concerned about that because I think at the end of the day, what we're here to do is to help the teams become more commercially successful so that they can afford to pay the riders the right salaries that they deserve, and the right salaries that they need. So if we do our job properly, the eyeballs will be on those teams and they'll continue to grow and they'll attract their own sponsors, and the level of the competition will continue to increase, which I think, to be honest, in our first season, I think it's really strong. I think it's great. And so I think it'll only continue to get better, and as those teams become more financially commercially successful. So not really worried about that, because I think if we are doing our job properly, teams, manufacturers, sponsors will want to see the best riders in there anyway. And then and I believe the riders want to participate because they want to be world champions and they want to travel the world and they want to do what they love and get paid for it. I don't think it's a matter of just for money. Of course they need to make great money, and I believe that what we're doing should in turn lead them to earn more money. And that's really part of the plan. But it's not the only decision. So I'm not really concerned in the future that would be something that would hold someone back, because of anything that was done, with Ken Roczen years ago. And as you touched on, he's a unique character because he does have such a strong commercial value. He's the most popular in the sport. Our research showed it. And so therefore there's great commercial value to that. And in time, other riders will come that'll have that too. And there'll be disparity of riders that some earn, a lot more than others because of their ability to move product and generate eyeballs and media coverage and all those things that make an athlete kind of, what they are.
I know some of the current WSX riders have been a little put out knowing that Roxon is getting a little bonus for showing up. Have you heard much of that? And when you give them that explanation, do they accept it? Because you know how this sport works. Everyone believes that they are the king. So when you tell them that another rider is actually more marketable and more valuable, I'd imagine they aren't overly thrilled.
Look, no one raises it, obviously to me directly, but I do hear about it. And I mean, my response to that is beat him on the track, beat him off the track, and you'll make as much money or more. It's as simple as that. I mean, he is incredibly marketable. He's incredibly talented. And so, no different than other riders in other categories, So I think, it'd be like me being upset that Dana White makes more than me. He's a fantastically experienced, incredible leader, done amazing things with UFC. He deserves to make more money than me. But do I want to be there one day? Absolutely. I would love to be. So, and I'll keep working to try and get to that point, So, but athlete egos, can be tough to manage. But I think as long as it's fair and there is real opportunity for anyone out there, that can deliver, results both on and off the track, then I think, it's fair game for everyone.
Yeah, the biggest issue you're going to run into is this rumored amount that Roxon is getting, because you know that a lot of people believe that. Well, I did until someone told me it was wrong. And as people believe that, they are going to demand the same. And the same does not exist because the original figure never existed. So, I don't envy you with that because I don't know how you are going to sidestep that rumor mill.
Oh, I've heard all sorts. I've heard 8 million. I've heard 6 million. I've heard all these crazy dollar figures, none of which are correct. But you can't. I think that the thing is too is like there's a reason why he is one of the highest paid in the sport, and he has been for many years. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is, there is proven metrics, and we did our own research to prove that he's the most popular in the sport, and he's the most influential in the sport. He has the most followers in the sport. So, I think that we hope that there'd be 10 Ken Roxens. That will be my dream in a year's time or 2 years' time, that there's 10 Ken Roxens that all have that level of pull and all have that level of marketability, and they're all making as much or more money. It would be fantastic. That's our ambition, that's for sure.
I need to know more about this quickly. This research you did on Roxanne, is that based on social media? Is that based on, I'm not even sure what another avenue would be, but is that solely based on social media? Did you go into the streets and pull random people aside to ask them?
It's a professional research company called Curioso, but they surveyed fans around the world, and literally organised time to talk on the phone with them to ask them who their favorite riders are and why. And they asked a bunch of other questions: what's important to them about Supercross, and what makes them want to go to an event, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What do they think about WSX and things? And so Ken was first. I want to say is, who do you most want to see? Ken, Tomac, Jet Lawrence, Chase Sexton. I think the four. That was and at that stage when this research was done, Jet hadn't even raced a 450 yet. So I think that's pretty impressive that he ranked up there already at that point in time.
Yeah, I'd imagine your rankings may have changed already. But so how did this research company get in touch with these fans? Did they just go on social media, search motocross, and then pick a couple, DM them? Like that's unbelievable for this industry. So how do they even find the fans? I wish I'd got a call. This would have been very interesting.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but there is companies out there that do research, and this is what they do, and they call people up and survey them and do a sample of 1,000 or what have you of from around the world and ask them those questions. So you can. It's a paid thing that we paid for to get done to help make informed decisions. So that one was that was pretty interesting. Not surprising, but interesting.
Okay, I've now got another follow-up to this. So based on the feedback you got, was there a path that you were going down and the research from the fans made you turn around and go, okay, even though we believe in this clearly isn't the way to go?
I think I wouldn't say I would say that it made working harder to get Ken very justifiable. If you're going to therefore be finding partners and be trying to put our commercial team on the ground to try and raise money to do ambassador type partnerships with an athlete, then the research clearly suggests that this is what the fans want to see. So it just really supported the notion, I guess. I wouldn't say that we pivoted away from someone because of that reason. I mean, we'd love to have all of them, obviously. That's the long-term ambition, whether at some point in time that all of those guys are able to race